And we're back. What's up, everybody? Tail end of the summer. The dog days, as it were. Hope everybody's been having a good time over the past few weeks. Doing your thing. Taking some time to enjoy the weather if it's good. Hopefully you haven't been experiencing any of the climate-related catastrophes going on in the world. Anyway, yeah, today, getting back into it, nice and easy. Getting back to something I've been thinking of doing for a little while. Playing around, experimenting, having fun. Having fun with crazy, weird, wonky noises, I think, is pretty much what's going to happen today. Nice to see a few familiar names in the chat already. First today. Who was first today? Wes Smith. 10 a.m. Saturday. I guess that's your time zone. Yes, I appreciate that. Your commitment is noted and greatly appreciated. What's up, Luminous Cloud? Hey, David Bora. Na 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 na. Or no. Guess who's back? Back again. That's what it is. You're doing that Eminem. Sean Hodgson. Nice to have you here. Silver Knobs in the house. Generally respectful freestyle. I mean, is there disrespectful freestyle? I don't know. What's up, Kozeps? Save Techno. Hello, Techno lovers. All you Techno friends. All the Techno love. Kennedy DJ. What's LFG mean? And hey, Data Rebel. Nice to have you here. Okay, enough of that. Let's get into it. And I will say, welcome everybody back here in the content studio at 343 Labs Music Production School in New York City. We also have our location in Berlin, if you didn't know. I say it at every show. I say it. You have to, if you've been watching the show, you're like, shut up about it already. But yeah, it's part of my job. I gotta like say what we do and why we're here. And well, why am I here? Well, one, I love techno and I like making techno and fooling around with sounds and beats and plugins and talking to you guys. But, you know, we teach here. We do music production, generally, all different styles. Whether you're a total beginner making your first track in Ableton Live or Logic, or getting a little more advanced and doing mixing and mastering and synthesis and sound design, you know, composition, arranging, songwriting, live performance, all of that stuff. We do that here in New York. We do that in Berlin at our location at Riverside Studios and online. We still do online classes. Although lately people have been more psyched about in person, you know, but still we have our online for those who are in different locations. Maybe you can't make it to New York or Berlin. And hey, we do private lessons too. Occasionally genre specific courses. I've got a Making Techno course. Online only. So anyway, that's what we do here at 343 Labs. Just wanted to give you the skinny on that if you're new here. And we have all our links in the description below. If you want to know more, you can go to our websites. You can join our Discord. And I always have to mention this, speaking of Discord, as we often do feedback sessions where you guys submit your tracks for constructive criticism from me and whatever guest I can rope into it. And we're overdue for an electro feedback session. It's going to happen. I've got the guest. The date is not confirmed, but 90-something% chance that it's in September and sometime in the middle of September. I'm looking at my calendar right now. I'm saying maybe the 16th, maybe the 23rd. So those of you who are, here for electro, I mean, it's Techno Day today, wonky, weird Techno Day today, actually. But for those of you who are into the electro stuff and you're making tracks and you're trying to, move forward and make progress and get your music out there, that's coming up. So if you haven't already joined our Discord, and I know a lot of you in the chat have, but if you haven't already, make sure to join the Discord. Hopefully the link is updated. If it's not, we'll fix it. And look for the Selway feedback channel. That's where you want to be. And I will announce as soon as the date is confirmed and we're taking submissions, actually, you might as well just get started. If you're going to do it, get started, get your track ready. And you guys know what I mean by electro, not electro house, not electro clash, not electro trance, not electro this or electro that. Just electro, or electro funk is another way to put it, or Detroit electro, or whatever. There's it could even be a little bit in the IDM direction, as long as it still has some funk and like bass to it, right? Like dance floor. Not too, yeah, I mean, I like it all. But electro or directly related to electro. Here's a thought. Now that I'm riffing now on electro and like what is or isn't electro, those of you who are into it or listening to it or producing it, syncopated, kind of more typical electro beats versus straight kick drums in electro, right? I tend to prefer not too much steady 4/4 kick, but it is possible to make real electro like with steady kick drums. So it's a fine line between that and like say techno, right? I hear people talking about it. I see, nerds online in threads on Reddit arguing or Facebook about what is or isn't electro. So think about that. Anyway, back to the plan. Let's just check in with the chat for a minute, see who else has shown up while I've been blabbing at you. Rex84, yo. Interlaced, thank you. Yes, good vacation. Did some traveling. Did some chilling. Did some work too. But yeah, things are good. Got DJ Emo in Northern Ireland. Riki Kikarovsky, welcome. Nikita Osadchi, I apologize. You know how I am. I always I'm sorry if I didn't get your name right. Stereo Decor is back. Very nice. Luminous Cloud is asking, wonky techno only? No noinks, bleeps, and zips? Well, actually, all of that. A while back, and this isn't, I've been meaning to play with this Max for Live device for months. I bought it. I barely touched it. All right. It happens. You get a plug in, you're all psyched about it, and then life passes you by and you don't get back to it. So I'm playing around with Opal today. I was thinking this week, well, John, you've been chilling out so much. You haven't really done any big plans for your first stream back. What are you going to do? And I'm sitting in here in the lounge at 343 Labs on the couch, and I'm like, what plugins or devices or things have I not played with in a while? And then I was talking with Takuma, who's another instructor here, about just sort of ideas and what to do with students, and how I really like to encourage people to play and have fun and not get too serious and caught up in the details. And also there's so much, and we've discussed this before, there's so much with techno that's like happy accidents. Like you just playing with the synth and it does something weird and you put a kick drum on it and you're there, right? There's something about that weird, crazy noise and rhythm that happened when you were fooling around and tweaking the knobs or pushing the buttons or dragging the mouse and clicking, whatever, and I feel like a lot of cool, unique, fresh sounds in techno often come by accident. You're just trying it and seeing what happens. And then if it's got the groove, if it's got the vibe, and you've got a good kick drum or whatever, and the drums and the arrangement is good, that's most of the battle right there. Also, if you just want to break out of your usual routine, any kind of random generation or just experimenting with stuff to break out of your rut, and if you keep doing the same sounds over and over again. So that's why I any plugin that can randomize. Of course, in live with, you can randomize anything, right? You can map parameters and randomize them in any plugin, which is great, but that's a lot more work. But we got Opal here by Fours, which is, they're so good. It's such a good Max for Live developer. They have really cool stuff. And so, yeah, this is not a tutorial on Opal. Honestly, I'm still learning all the parameters, but what it's got. All right, well, what has it got? It's got a few different sound generators and it's got some effects. If you think of Electron devices, mean, this is, kind of that sort of workflow. You've got parameter sequencing and locking and probability, and you can, sequence and modulate everything. And you can save patterns. You could do like whole tracks just with this thing. So what we're going to play with, you can see there's a step sequencer there, right? And this gem section is just doing kind of simple kick or bass-like things. Right, and that's already kind of cool. Sounds like FM synthesis. All right, so anyway, like I said, I'm not here to like go through and meticulously fool around and go through every little parameter and make it perfect and whatever. We're going to use the randomizing. This is what was so much fun when we were just hanging out in the lounge the other day, is I just, open up this randomizer and all of the parameters, all of the steps, everything goes crazy. All right. And sometimes it sounds amazing and sometimes it doesn't. So, and what I'm going to do is try to generate a bunch of different patterns and try to find elements to build into a groove, into a track, or just make samples of and then come back to later, like making loops and stuff. And then to make this even better, it's multi-timbral. I can have all these different instruments going on at the same time, and we want to set up audio tracks to record each element separately so I can process them and edit them and arrange them. And, it's just going to give me more content simultaneously. Save Techno is asking, is it free? No, it is not a free plugin. And again, I want to stress, this isn't a promotion. I bought this because I think it's cool, right? And I'm just sharing it with you. So full disclosure. Who else has popped into the chat here? Hey, Rasmus, nice that you're here. UK Strings has been getting into the Behringer clones to mix things up. Yeah, we have some of those. We have some of those here. This is another thing I've been, aside from like procrastinating on playing around with Opal, we have all this hardware here, and it really needs to be set up to do some hardware, DAW-less jamming. And finally, you might have heard me complaining about this a little while ago, but finally we got one of these. We got the Push 3 standalone. So you can expect that to pop up on the stream pretty soon. The idea is the Push 3, hopefully it's going to be working and the bugs are getting sorted out, but we got the Push 3 here. We're going to have a Push 3 and hardware like jam setup, right? Where we can just hit, forget about, not forget about Ableton Live because it's still Ableton Live, but away from the screen a little bit and have like a kind of standalone, fun studio hardware-based setup to go and play around with. So yeah, we'll get to that soon enough, but it's here. I'm happy. We got one. Okay. Hey, DJ Feo from Mexico. Nice to have you. Believe you've been around before. Very nice. Cool. All right. Anyway, back to Opal and making weird, bleepy, bloopy, freaky, random craziness. All right. So, it's got a sampler in it. I want to give it a sample in it. You can do some kind of crazy granular stuff with this. But let's find a sample and drop it in. It has to be a WAV file, I believe. I tried dragging some AIF files into this and it wasn't happy. So let's see if I can get this in there. All right. So I've loaded up a sample. All right. So anyway, I'm not going to worry too much about sound design right now because what we're going to do is open up that randomizing thing again and click surprise me. Now this is just, this is going to probably maybe not be awesome right away, but let's see. Okay. There's a couple of cool noises in there. I don't know what's going on there. I could go through and kind of investigate each one and tweak it and tighten it up. But really, like I said, I just want to easily generate craziness. So, and then again, capture all of those separate sounds individually on different audio tracks. We can do that. Let's make an audio track and choose Opal as the audio from source, and then choose outputs 3 and 4. All right, so 1 and 2 are going to be the mix out for everything. Okay, that's one instrument inside of Opal, doing some crazy randomized modulation on that FM sound. That's already great. Like, I'm not necessarily, this is what I said wonky before, this is what I was thinking of. Right away, I started hearing it doing these kind of weird, detuned, noisy kind of bass patterns happening. Or potentially they could be bass or leads or whatever, but that's already crazy. That's already good. There's even a sound in there that could be I could isolate and slice up and make percussion sounds out of. So I'm already happy. Let's do another one. Well, another audio track. And see what's on the next instrument on outputs 5 and 6. All right, some bleeps. I said there would be bleeps. There they are. Whoa. And weird farty noises too. I mean, those of you who are into more kind of weird minimal underground stuff, this could already be the start of a track. Just that. And of course, the additional benefit of separating out each element in Opal onto its own track is effects processing and playing around. I mean, I'm going to sample this. I'm going to record tracks into clips, sounds into clips. But I'm hearing some really quiet stuff in the background in this one that I want to be louder. And all right, I could go in and try to turn up the individual steps in Opal, but let's just try squashing the heck out of it first, because it's really dynamic, right? There's some really loud hits and some really quiet hits. There it is. And that's really peaky and clipping now. Do you know what might be good for this? Would be upward compression or expansion. So we can do our OTT on this. And it's going to bring up some of that quiet stuff and also squash the heck out of the bright, loud stuff. Anyway, you hear what I'm talking about. So that's another potential interesting part, right? Or source for one-shot samples and effects and things like that. Let's add in another track and hear what else is happening. Opal outputs 7 and 8. We'll turn those on. That's like a ravey, techno-y lead sound right there. I mean, maybe with some editing, but like I like that, right? Some effects. I mean, okay, I haven't produced and worked on the kick and the hi-hats, and it's like, and that needs to be a tougher beat, right? But you can hear the potential, I hope. These right now, what it's generated, those don't all necessarily go together really well somehow, but they sound like cool elements to use for different things. All right, so that's another potential decent one. And what did I hit that randomize button once or twice? Maybe. It's endless what you can do. Not every instrument sounds cool when you randomize it. I mean, if you've ever done that with different plugins that have different levels of randomization, like sometimes it just goes like completely out of, I don't know, like loses context. In this case, I've gotten some pretty good results. It's, each instrument is not overly complex, so you can randomize it and it doesn't go off the range too much. Cool. Luminous Cloud is talking about Stock drum synths into drum rack and sequence with the Opal sequencer module. Oh, that's right, because it has individual. All of the things in Opal can be separated. That's great. That's a good idea. Nice. I'm glad we have some Opal users in here. You guys have probably already gone much deeper than I have with it. All right, let's keep going. Let's see what's coming out of 9 and 10. All right, that's the sample. Let's pump this up a little bit. Hopefully that's not too loud. And of course, since it's a sample, it's really going to be highly dependent on what you put into it. I'm curious to see what this is doing. That's kind of cool. We're getting sort of minimal, blippy, kind of micro house vibes with this one, right? Because it's those chord stabs. Just playing around with some of these granular... They're scanning through the sample. Turning on there's a number of grains there. It's real popping and clicking sometimes. It's real sharp, so I'm increasing the attack time a little bit on that. Could tune it. Anyway, just playing around. All, like I said, make it fun and experiment and keep turning knobs, even if you don't know what you're doing. If it sounds good, it's good. All right. Not loving this one. It could be the sample. It could just be the pattern that was randomly generated. Let's see what happens if we change it. I know I can only randomize some of them, right? Not all of them. But I'm just going to say surprise me because, ooh, I like that. A little darker. Oh, that was randomly surprisingly good right there. Because I'm kind of thinking, I was saying wonky, I'm thinking kind of more dark, weird underground techno. Not too clean. Not too typical, like, chord stabs and build-ups, but just like weird grooves. Feeling the weird grooves today. This is definitely that. This would be good for electro too, these sounds. It sounds like your finger is stuck in a socket and your brain's getting zapped. That's like very good. Okay. The probability is like, what? Ooh. Can I capture that? I can't. I don't even think I can capture that because I can't. It only makes sound when the transport's going. Like, how do I how do I capture that long release hit there without? Because it won't do it if the clock. I don't know. We'll have to figure that out another time. That's going to be too tricky. All right. So I'm going to capture. So there's 3 or 4 good things here, right? So I'm going to capture this stuff to audio. It's already routed in. Let's turn the monitor off to start with. I'm holding down Command to do non-exclusive track arming, right? So I can record all of them at the same time. And I should just be able to start recording loops of this stuff. All right. So yeah, whatever it's doing, we're not hearing it. Let's turn that hi-hat off for a second. All right, so that one's getting recorded. What? Oh, it's David, there's no stereo. I haven't panned anything. Let's check. Let's make sure you're getting stereo. Everybody hearing stereo? All right. Oh my God. Let me record this again and make sure that I got like a good clip of it. Also, I can leave that on. Delete this automation. I didn't mean to do that. All right. Auto. All right. I'm just getting my track inputs and activate buttons sorted out so I don't make a total cacophony here. It's totally clipping. I don't care. I guess I could go into Opal and turn it down. Oops. Oh, there's the level. I'm like, where's the level? It's just so we don't clip. All right, so I've got some that are not clipping. And I think that's enough for that one. It doesn't change that much. Okay. Let's capture this one. Another weird, strange... I'm not sure about this one. Oh, that's right. You know what? I forgot. I randomized over the first two that I did that were good. So I don't even like those. So I'm going to just not capture those. Let's try this one. That one's not doing anything. Why is that? All right, anyway, before I hit randomize again, let's see what this guy's doing. All right, I like that one. Definitely need to keep this one. Let's record that. All right, the polymetric repetition is a little odd. This definitely needs to be like looped and, so it doesn't, there's like an extra beat in there that shouldn't be there. I'm going to have to turn this into something, but it's a good starting point. All right. Let's just keep making some stuff. All right. So I have a few clips now. Let's see what else we can do. Okay, let's try our luck. Surprise me. Couple of cool sounds in there. Again, with the long release time on the sample. This is a little weird, but the different elements almost work together on this one somehow. I'm not quite sure, but they kind of do. Alrighty. Oh my God. This workflow's kind of bugging me a little bit. I feel like I like the flow of it when I'm just playing with the plugin and hitting random and kind of getting into the groove and listening, but then I have to stop and worry about which clip is going or recording. It's a bit tedious. I wonder if it might be just more fun to let it go into the arrangement view instead of individual clips, and then I can go back and cut up those into samples. That might be more interesting. Let's see. All right, so I've got all those tracks armed. I believe I need one more. I'm missing one. Go back to the Opal. Go back to, oh, there's actually several. Opal, and then, all right, so that's a lot of, that's a lot of material, potentially. And we're just going to record into here. Getting some effects in there too. All right, ready? Oh my God. Someone who's just tuning in right now is like, what is going on? This is ridiculous. All right, I hear something in here that I like. That's it, right? It's that sample again. All right, let's turn off recording automation because it's capturing me turning the mutes on and off. That's cool. With the reverb on it. I feel like this one would need a 16th note hi-hat, maybe. All right, that's another track starter right there for sure. Let's see what else is going on in this. Little blippy zaps. Here's some stereo for you guys. All right, David Bora, Glitch Music is back. It never went away. I'm hearing a lot more micro house out there now. That's definitely back. Micro house. All right, what's this loud one doing? It's another weird effect. These could all be useful for something. Maybe not all at the same time. Not bad. Very loud. Which one is that? Something like this, I won't do it to you guys, but something like this, I might let this record for 5 minutes just to make sure I get a lot of cool variation. That's a lot though. All right, and we're still recording in here. We still have all this stuff. All right, let's break this down a little bit. And again, I'm not arranging, but you could do this live. You could really roll the dice. Imagine doing a live set with this and just hitting surprise me every time you want a new track. And then the challenge is to make it work for the performance like really fast. That could be for experimental music, this could be great. All right, why did I stop recording? Let's start another round here. That's kind of cool right by itself, just as a little weird chirpy percussion loop. Okay, but we're gonna do this surprise me again. It's okay. Might take a couple of those hits. Really blippy bloopy stuff. That's better. I like it when it's more continuous and rolling today, I think. Sounds good with some delay on it. It's another track starter. Can't believe it's already 1:45. Time's flying, just hanging out with you guys and randomizing synthesizer sounds and patterns. This has got a nice vibe to it. Let's see what else is happening. Okay, that's the sample. I should throw another sample in there. That's a good idea. I'll come back to that in a second. Nice snare slash, yeah, modulating clap. It sounds like what that is. Some weird sustain noise going on here. Some like, some sort of like an engine driving away in the distance or something. Oh, this is great. Like sound design without actually doing sound design. Let's do this again. I'm just going to keep going. I told you I just wanted to have fun today, right? And that's what I'm doing. And I hope you're okay with that. All right. What do we say? We're going to change the sample to something else. Let's see what I can find. It's again, all of my samples in the library, they're all like AIF files. I need to find WAV files. Let's see what we can get in here that might do something interesting. Like, do I want percussive or noisy, or do I want harmonic? I feel like something like that might be good to get some harmonic content in there. Let's try. All right, and then we are going again to randomize. All right, I'm going to keep randomizing until I get something I like out of the sample. That's interesting. Yeah, I like that. Definitely glitchy. Let's tune it down. All right. Put an echo on there. Oh, wrong one. There we go. I like this for something dubby and spacey. How's it going to sound with that big, tough kick? Not too bad. I'm glad we arrived at a place where it wasn't totally wonky and like insane and potentially irritating, right? We can like focus in and guide it into a different direction if we want, even though it's still randomizing, right? A little more continuous now with a longer release. Just playing around now. Maybe better shorter. Because it's so spacey with all the delay and the reverb on it. It's nice to have the contrast of the short stabbed chord. All right. Now, yeah, I'm recording all of this, not with the effects though. It's something I got to think about and be organized about. Like, do I want to capture this as a sample with the effects, or do I want to capture it dry? I mean, I could do both. Like if I start recording, then I can make another audio track and do audio from track 7. And then if I do that post effects, and then I could potentially record that wet signal with the delay as well at the same time. Making sure to arm both tracks so they don't just cut off like that. I like this. We've covered so much ground in such a short amount of time just by randomizing one device. Okay. Get ready for it to be weird. Okay, not. Surprise. Ooh, that's nice. And that's getting recorded. Really nice pads for something, I think. All right, dare I add in one of these other tracks? Let's see what we got. All right, more random weird noises again. Make sure we record that. All right, let's see what this guy's doing. More percussive kind of stuff. That's a little... That needs to be... if I were to use it in this groove, it needs to be sliced up and quantized. It's a nice idea, though. All right, that's recorded. Let's see what this guy's doing. Okay, that was the sample. More atmospheric stuff. I'm happy with this, guys. I know you're probably like, oh, come on. Let's stop and take a break and talk for a little bit and come back down to earth and refocus and remind everyone that this is 343 Labs. I am John Selway. This is Selway, wonky, crazy, experimental, random techno Saturdays today. What's up in the chat? What are you guys up to? Luminous Cloud says, that's the sound of Hawking radiation stealing your existence. Yes, that is what's happening. Aaron Hedges, what's up? Hello, FX Twin. Yeah, I mean, not that. No. It's like baby steps towards that, right? But yes, thank you. Nice tip here from Riki. You can record a long released one by shift command clicking step and preview the current step. Yes. See, I knew those of you out there who are already using this would have some good advice. I appreciate that. Thank you. Good to know. And Luminous Cloud is remarking that Opal seems to be generating call and response. I mean, there could be something in there, like some kind of bias that it doesn't make sequences play on top of each other too much. Like, you know, maybe it has a probability thing where if one element is more likely to play on this note that it doesn't play on another device. Who knows? I mean, that's the kind of stuff that you could account for algorithmically, so to speak, right? It does seem to generate some, like when you're doing these 5 parts at once, these 5 different sequences, you know, sometimes it's just completely out of whack. But very often, even if the sounds are weird, there's some kind of structure to the randomness, I feel like. It'd be interesting to hear from... I know there's some videos, like the developer's pretty good about doing overviews of these, and I haven't watched through all of it, but maybe that's in there. Nice. Okay. What should we do now? So I've got all this material recorded. What do I do with it? I mean, I would need more than 10 minutes to make this into a track. But let's just spend the last couple of minutes of the stream and, going back over some of the stuff that I captured and, thinking about where to go with it. I mean, when I got deeper just now with the dubby chords, I mean, that's definitely one that's I was already kind of going that way. I was like, oh, let's put some effects on it and and I started, instead of just letting it be what it was randomly, I went in and started tweaking the parameters of the device. But all right, let's go back here and see what in this whole mess of audio that we've got here in the arrangement view and make some sense of it. Okay, and then also there's the clips that I recorded here earlier, but all right, let's get everything, let's get the inputs off so we know we're hearing what's coming out of the clips and not out of the device. That sounds like a mess. I think what we want to do is deactivate everything. I like this for some like background vibe. I bet you some saturation would sound good to pump this up a little bit. Let's see what happens. Crazy. Does that work with a kick drum? I could just make a loop, like a short loop, and see if I can find some phrases. There you go. Like, maybe you're not into the total random, everything changing, wonky vibe. Maybe you want to have it be a little more strict and clear as far as the groove goes. This is how you do it. You just go in and mine little bits in pieces. We could do 2 beat loops, 4 beat loops, polymetric length loops, whatever. Like, that's already a little bit of a groove right there. Let's add something to it. Oops, forgot to go back to the main screen. Here we go. It's like that's already maybe something, right? Again, we'll just make a short loop. Little column response there. Is there a snare in there? These might be better to, instead of looping, these might be good to chop into one shots. Yeah. Those are cool. Let's do that. Oops, wait a minute. All right, take that audio clip, put it in the... I probably should edit it first. It's so long, but we can just go in and get some slices, right? Right? Easy enough. And then I have to write a pattern. But all right, let's keep mining. Still pretty wonky. These are going to make good drum sounds. All right, what do we got later here? Okay, that's a loop. anything else in here, or did I just keep this going for too long? Looks like it doesn't change too much later. All right, not in love with that one. Let's mute it. Let's see what this guy's doing. Oh, a little loud. What's at the beginning of that? All right. There's a lot in this one, I think. Loop on. Give it a 3/16 note loop. Could be that simple. You guys are so patient with me today. I really appreciate it. I don't know. I mean, I might be able to find a cool loop in here, but definitely some of the weirder, glitchier sounds need to be sliced and placed precisely and played with a little bit more. Still, though, it's some really good raw material. All right, let's see what else we got. And that has got the delay on it. I think I like that one. Let's go back to the chords. I think that's over here. Yep. Is that going to work with this? Let's see. I feel like it needs to be lower. I know I pitched it down in Opal. All right. Just a little taste of, that's just the beginning of the process of going through and mining all of this stuff and making something out of it. But I'm glad I finally did this. I'm having a lot of fun playing around with Opal, and I highly recommend it. So if you like this sort of thing. Thanks everybody for hanging out with me today. And, we're back. We'll be here every Saturday, alternating between techno and electro and doing different styles. We'll have guests back as usual. Christian Smith's going to join me coming up in the future. That's another date we need to confirm. My guest for the electro feedback session in September, it will be Sync24, Cultivated Records. He's been a guest before, showing us how he does his work. But this time we're going to hang out and listen to your music. So again, if you haven't joined the Discord already and you want to join in on the electro feedback session coming up in September, definitely get on that Discord. There's a link in the description. Go to the Selway feedback channel and say hello. And I'll announce here very soon and there in the Discord channel when the feedback session is going to be. So I don't know. Before we sign off today, let's see. Luminous Cloud's always real active. I appreciate that. You always have lots of fun things to say. Who's going to make an Oliver Chesler quote generator Max for Live device, or like a horrorist lyric generator? I should have Oliver come back on. I mean, it's been a little while. We're overdue, like years, decades overdue to like make records again. So that's something that should happen. I definitely will reach out to Oliver And you're asking about having Abe back. That's another thing we can do. Abe is no longer a regular streamer, but he could be my guest. So that is something we need to arrange for sure. And anyway, again, thanks to all of you. Glad that we're back and we'll be here every Saturday. Remember, if you want to know more about 343 Labs Music Production School, you've got all the info in the description below. You've got the links to check out. And that's it. Enjoy your week. I will see you next time. Adios.